My name is Wallace. I am a alpha male vampire dude. Doesn't mean anything. I like saying that. It's one of my favorite things. Situation, whatever. I don't mean anything. It's just like the ultimate. Just like, don't mean nothing. So today was a pretty good day for me. I just worked. Oh, it's fun. I am tired, very tired. Um, the moon's out, kind of a full moon's out, and people are weird on full moons. Like, I don't know why, but I think it affects everybody. It's just a spiritual thing. I have no idea what people are. Like, I was riding my bicycle home from work, it's just like, oh, do my thing. I'm fine, do. But now people are just like driving all kinds of crazy. Like, the kind of crazy where I'm like pulling off the side of the road every chance I get because I'm like, no, man, I'm not gonna risk it. Just like random people walking around all crazy like and aggressive and dumb. Just like, you guys, don't you know I'm a celebrity? It's like, don't matter. Yeah, ain't anything. It ain't nothing. Um, but no, I'm really grateful to be home. Grateful to be safe. Uh, yeah, just try not to think too much. It's just like you ever like stop and think, but you're like you're reluctant to stop and think because it's just like, what's the point? It's like, what am I gonna do? Criticize myself? I feel like 99% of life is just like, you know, for me at least, it's like just being myself and like, surviving, but trying to have fun and enjoy myself too. Be nice to people. Try to be nice. But it's complicated because I know that not always niceness, like I always just try to be nice to people. And, that was, people are smart, right? And people require different things. And I apologize. I've got a lazy eye. When I'm really tired, my eye gets extra lazy. So my eye's kind of messed up. This one, but it's fine as soon as I get some rest. I'm not tired. Anyways, but um, people are complicated. They can be, and people require different things besides just, hey, I'm just gonna be nice to you. And if it was just that, if it was just, hey, I'm gonna be nice to you, that my life would be so much easier. I could be nice, but people are nice, and they also have, you know, not nice sides to them. And to form relationships, requires communication on the different sides of people that they're willing to um, communicate with. And it's complicated because you got people of all different ages, of all different, it's and I wish it was just a little bit more simple, just respect and kindness. But no, it ain't that. It ain't all that. That'll only get you so far. You know how? Let me phrase it this way. It'll open up the door to a certain point, I'm very, very familiar with it. I've learned people, people like, okay, you're nice and respectful, nice and respectful. Okay, 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 and and people get tired of that. People people will just say, no, I want something else. No, I want to have a different. I want to be able to joke around. You know, I know you tell jokes and stuff. And I want to, I've learned that's a normal person people thing. Normal thing that people do. And so, today I had a moment where I'm just like, I was at work and I was thinking to myself like, this is not a bad thing. But I'm like, man, I've got good relationships. I got some pretty gosh darn good relationships with people, and not to brag or anything. And this is, I guess, this is bragging, but it's like me and this other person, just very, very comfortable. You could tell, and we're just like, our communication's really good, working as a team. There's no real problems. Just another day. Maybe talk a little bit more here and there, and develop a better relationship that would help us in the future when situations arise that may be stressful or whatever. And then another person talks to my friend, and my friend, I could tell right off right away that my friend's just like, I don't really know about this person. And I'm like, yeah, I understand. you know and I felt good. I'm like, gosh darn, I'm doing a good job. Like, I'm not trying. I'm not like, I just realized I'm a very I'm not the you know there's a lot to me, right? I mean, the whole supernatural thing, but really, I'm I'm pretty skilled. I think what I would say is that's gosh darn cool about me, that I'm proud of, is that I have skills and instincts to be able to um, communicate. And it's pretty gosh darn good, and you can, without talking about any other crap, that ain't anything. So, and I'm like, yeah, man, just skills and instincts. My intentions are build relationship, build bridges, and so that we can better, work as the team. Yeah, proud of that. Everybody's different, and it's like people go through different growth, and like I said, to me as a person, not just a leader, but as a person, as an adult, as a person, just a person. It's very obvious when people don't want to share a side to them, or maybe they'll share the side to them, and then it's not, the communication doesn't work, and then they go back to not showing a side of them to that person. But and it goes both ways. Like, like, a lot of the times, what I realize is that when a lady wants to be my friend, that a lot of the times when a certain side is shown to me, and I'm not, you know, wanting to show that side of me, then, you can't have that communication. That's the way I see it. Simply put, it ain't a problem with guys because, for the most part, it's pretty simple. It's clear. It's clear. It's clear cut. If a guy wants to show a certain affectionate side to me, that's not like brotherly love. Just I quickly shut it down. It's a pretty simple thing. It would bother me. But with ladies, it's different. And as I've struggled with in talking about these videos, I got a lot of excuses, but my main excuses are there's three of them. One, that I'm a vampire and I go and I'm numb, and I don't know how to walk that path correctly, just instinctively because I am a vampire. It's complicated. Two, because most of the people I talk to, at work or outside of work, um, I'm just really just want to be friendly, and it's very easy for that to escalate into more than friendliness. And then third reason is that I just like being alone. And I've been told many times that oh, it's not good, but it's like I've got people that I know. I can. I'm doing pretty gosh darn good on my own. As talk about spirituality and stuff and being connected to people, so I don't really feel alone. I get to spend hours every day, constant people interaction. It feels like, and so I'm very satisfied as far as being the kind of life I live in regards to uh, being around people and then being able to be alone and enjoy being alone. What it comes down to me in a very simple way, and this is a I think I want to say this because it's good for me to say it. Um, I feel like one day when I'm ready to have kids, then I can do that. But that's not what I'm trying to do. And I don't. It's hard for me to talk about. I mean, I don't want people to feel bad for me. I'm like, come on now. Like, I don't want people to feel bad for me in general. Like, my life is complicated enough without me trying to manipulate people into feeling bad for me. Like, if I'm limping, my leg hurts, it's because my leg hurts. I don't think I've ever faked my leg being hurt or the trauma of bone moving or whatever. Like I did the other day where one of the bones moved and it affected me. It caused me my body to start showing the effects of shock. I don't play around with that shit. I don't need to. I don't want to. I don't feel good about that. I wouldn't do that. It's not part of my character. You know, I've got, I've got. I'm not a dumb person. I'm not a. I don't think I'm a sleazy person. Sleazy. I really don't. I'm an asshole, sure. I like making jokes, but I feel like there's another thing I want to talk about. I realize a good way to build trust and just good relationships where it's just like, well, I feel comfortable around that person. I feel comfortable, don't really need to worry. We've got our boundaries. I feel like I can joke around. I could tell that person, I could be mean to, I'm not saying me person, but I'm saying as if a person who's in a relationship with me. What I would want that person, or what I would want personally, is to be able to, have a good day or have a bad day, be in a good mood or be in a bad mood, but we're, we're still understanding. We're at the after the bad day or the bad moods or whatever. We have an understanding. There's still boundaries, standards, and you know that happens, right? But we still want to be comfortable, and we want to get closer to each other because the me and the other person were, you know, we like each other as people. We want to be comfortable. We want to feel like, you know, we want to we want to make things easy. You know, let's have it be easy. And those kind of relationships, I really, you know, I don't. I'm grateful that nature, that life and nature, have uh, the things are a certain way. You know, I don't have to. No, it's just in my genetics. It's in my instincts. It's in my, uh, you know, and I'm glad that that's there. You know, and uh, I've got good values. You know, and because of those things, it makes certain relationships very easy. You know, and some people, you know, I've kind of noticed today that some people are like, "Wow, it's so easy for you to communicate with this person that I have a struggle to communicate with." I'm like, "Yeah, thank you. That's a compliment." You know, um, I like that. I like you know, I don't like the what I don't like is like when boundaries aren't respected. You know, nobody likes that. And typically, some of the best people, I think are some of the best people. When you start crossing a boundary, they don't feel like, uh, you know, they'll start being, you know, sassy or whatever. They'll start, you know, like start doing things. It's just like very obvious and simple, and I'm like, I love that because it's clear, very clear. It's like, oh, I get it. You know, this is a, you know, you don't, you know. I wish more people do that. I know you know, people are different with how they handle that, and I like to think I'm pretty simple. You know, I'm pretty obvious. You know, in a lot of regards, but like relationships, communication, all that's it's an art form, it really is. And I feel grateful that it's always interesting because people are interesting. People are pretty cool. But yeah, it's an interesting thing that you know there'll be a, you know, it's very obvious. I'm a well-known vampire, right? Like, you know, like, people know, and you know, I go about my day and I feel almost totally accepted. Why the reason why I say almost because it's my do, you know, it's my thing that I do as a vampire. I keep a distance from people, you know, so that I just it's just a thing. It's not like just a vampire thing. But besides the distance, you know, you know, it just feels like I'm just another guy, even though I get, you know, all the attention and whatever. But you know, there's that, and I feel comfortable, and then get off work and go somewhere, and it's like, look at the spooky vampire dude, look at him, and people are like, I'm like, you guys, I'm just reminded of that. That's like, or like I'm just like trying to get like a coffee or a drink or whatever, after work, which happened today, and you know, how guys get sometimes. Not me. I never get this way, but I really don't. I don't think so. But like when a guy like sees another guy and tries, and he's like, and then says, "Oh wow, look at you! Oh wow, oh, whatever," just and I'm just like, please, please just follow the rules. Please be polite and respectful. I am following the rules and being polite and respectful. I'm just please do so as well, sir. I'm not. I'm, I'm, I'm not, nothing to see here. I'm just being polite, respectful, getting a drink, minding my own business. But that's and then the guy and this specific individual that I noticed today. You know, so oh no, this guy is this and this and this, and then the mannerisms and the appropriateness and how he thinks that he should behave around me changes. I'm just like, please, no, 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 sir. I I am nothing to you. Just a guy. Just my mom business. It's one of those things that it's just like, to me, it's just like more work. It's like, no, no, no. I'm like, suddenly, like, I'm trying to get some ice cubes or something, and I look and there's a gentleman who's standing his ground because he's waiting for me to interact with him, and I'm like, oh, please no, nobody, nothing, just a person trying to get some ice cubes and a drink. Please no, none of this. Tired, but to me it's like people are bored or people want excitement. That's how I see it. I'm just like, no, please, please, please leave me alone. Anyways, I just wanted to vent a little bit about that. And like, yeah, a strange thing that I've learned about is that I don't really know how to like handle perfectly. I would say this is me criticizing myself. Is I've noticed that when I don't give attention to people, sometimes it can very easily lead to resentment. But it's like at the same time, I'm like, and like some. Let me finish my thought. I I don't want to have certain types of relationships with people. I'm not ready to have kids. And the other thing is that I realize that it's complicated. You have if a person is with you and you're on a team together, for instance, and there's that resentment, and but they're also showing you're just being yourself, going about your day, and something might um, they might be attracted to you in some way, and so you got those. It's just like a combination of things, and my brain, my leadership, So it's like, man, doing nothing, just being quiet, ignoring this person or people is the worst thing that I can do. And because I don't mean them any harm, any ill will, any sleepless nights. I don't want that. I don't want that for anybody. I don't want that for myself. Why would I want that? Why? Because I'm mean? Because I'm selfish? Like, I don't feel anything. I'm numb. I'm tired and I'm numb. Because I'm a vampire, and also because I'm tired just from being tired. So I'm like just ignoring, not being myself, secluding myself. And these are things I used to do when I wasn't out in the open about being a vampire. And it was terrible. Like relationships. It's like I didn't have relationships. I just had bad relationships. It's like the relationship part was inevitable with people. It's just a thing. It developed, but I would just develop bad relationships. Just bad relationships with people because I wanted to seclude myself. So I'm like, no, I can't just ignore. I can't just, you know, people are intelligent. They can read me and they know what I'm. So I'm like, no, I don't want to have bad relationships with people. But I also don't want to have, you know, uh, I'll just say it. I don't know if I'll feel good about saying this, but I don't want to have sexual relationships. I don't. No, no, I do not want to have sexual relationships with people. I don't. Like I realize that that I'm a human being and that my brain can be, you know, my mind can be changed, right? But like from an instinctive, just maybe I'm by myself, a single male dude with my life. My natural, my normal is that I don't want that, and you know, it's just the truth. There's no like oh, I want this because of this. Oh, no, there's no. I haven't. Fortunately, I want to give like excuses and reasoning, but I'm like, just ain't. I don't want to have kids. Not right now. And you know, haven't been sexual in years, and that's it. Don't feel. And I know some people might feel bad. So I kind of get the hint that people feel bad. I don't feel bad. I know it's more complicated than that. I know that there are some people that think, oh, it'd be more healthy for Wally is that if he had that kind of interaction stuff. I'm just like, oh. Sorry. I do realize that taking other people's advice is also critical. Uh, but on this topic, I'm pretty satisfied with just having relationships with people where it's appropriate. You know, I'm not a young man anymore. I don't feel like, and I really do appreciate relationships that are appropriate. Maybe a little bit more on the friendly interaction, feeling comfortable. Someone touches my arm or touches me. Not in a really inappropriate way. And I'm where I feel like, oh, that surprised me, but it's like, you know, I don't feel nausea right now, so yeah, I must be okay with that. We must have a relationship where that's not too overwhelming for me. Like that makes me feel not too uncomfortable. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video there. I'm tired. Yeah, I'm starting to get myself a little razzled. But I think it's good for me to talk about it, especially in a therapy setting. So I appreciate y'all for watching, and I'm gonna get some rest. So y'all have a good night. Bye.